Hey there. Today on Guy's show with Coffee with George and sometimes other people, we're going to continue working on the illustration we were working on yesterday. You probably noticed that this is recorded earlier. See, it says recorded earlier. And we're doing this now the night before. Plans have changed. I was going to do a Wednesday painting today, but we're going to have to cancel that for right now. I got a meeting that came up that needs to be at 10 o'clock, and so I'm going to try this experiment. So, this is recorded earlier for all of you who are trying to talk to me via text. I may or may not see it. I don't know. We'll have to see. So, join me. I'll try to be in the room to chat with you if I can, because I don't know what the meeting's going to be about, so we'll have to see. But in the meantime, we'll be right back after this. Computer. Lights. All right, guys. So, as you can tell, it's nighttime here. When I recorded this, it's still actually the middle of the night. Oh, I turned the volume up a little there. There we go. Now you can actually hear me. Isn't that amazing? So it's nighttime, and I'm going to go ahead and head on over. We'll go ahead and warm up and do our warm-ups, and then we will get to work on Elio 4. This is probably going to be a short show. Again, note that this is recorded earlier. So we'll have to go ahead and have a fun time, and we'll go ahead and just do all the normal stuff we were going to do, and we will be ready to go. So for right now, let's go on ahead and head over to the desk. All right. Again, we're going to use just a normal pencil. It's just in my normal Joe Blue pencil. I love this guy. We're going to just make a couple of lines right here. They're crooked. It's not important that they not be crooked. Make our departure and arrival. Same thing here, departure and arrival. We'll go this way. Right. Take just a normal French curve, and we'll deal with the problems that we all know I suffer from, which is curves. Curves are difficult. Always practice the things you're bad at. There we go. Just take a number 4 pin. It's pretty normal. Straight up. Keep your elbows off the table. Keep your wrist off the table. If you need to, you can guide a little bit with your pinky, but you want to even get past that, right? If you can avoid it, you want to avoid putting your pinky down. You want to avoid that if you can. I'm going to turn this microphone just a little bit more towards me. There you go. And again, We're going to start here, and then we're going to look here. So start here, look there. Right? I'm going to just do that. Start here, look to your destination. There we go. Do the long lines. Same thing here. All right. It's interesting. Doing these at night is a very different problem for me. So today is 1/6. And we'll put this guy over here. We're done. All right, guys, so we had done... There we go. We had done... Yesterday we were doing a piece for Ron Fortier, and he's doing... he's part of a group called Airship 27, and this group does cool little books that have illustrations in them. What we're going to do is we're going to continue working on this illustration that we were working on before. I'm going to finish off our last three guys on the background, finish off the guy in the foreground, and then we're going to call this show wherever that lands. But it's reality. It's 10:38 at night for me, and everybody's got school tomorrow, so this kind of came as a surprise for me as well. So just so you all know, this is my practice to see, can we do this? Will this work? So let's go ahead and get started. We're going to head over to the monitor. Now what we're going to do here, we're going to make sure we're live. We are. And check our layers. Layer check. There we go. I can already see Brent saying layer check. Okay. And come down here. I like this guy, right? He's kind of cool. And this, the big, like, huge thing-sized things. So, okay. So rules, as we always do them, we always must do the things that are closest to our nose and then go backwards. Things that's closest to our nose is this guy's sword, right? So we'll go in here. Make sure we've got G-pin selected. And we'll put this blade in. This is more like a machete now. All right. Let his hand go around this whole thing. Right, that's what we're going to do here. We've got a converging tangent back here, so I want to make sure that I don't have that converging tangent showing up. There we go, just like this. He's wearing a shirt. It looks kind of like the white t-shirts that people sometimes wear. Right. This guy's just got wild and crazy hair. Some kind of demon he is. He's just got wild hair. You know what he could have, though? He could have snakes. It's a snake. It's very cute. It's a cute snake. Don't make fun of his snakes. He won't like it if you make fun of his snakes. Maybe these snakes are like, I'm gonna fight you. No, you're not, dude. Totally ready to fight. And we'll give him cat eyes, because that makes everything worse. Except if you're a cat. At which time it's like, oh, yeah, I get him. He makes total sense. There we go. Maybe something like that. I don't know. Sort of feeling like, a thing. No idea what's going on here. Right? So, there's that. We are 12 minutes into the show. There you go. I don't know what that is. But he's probably like mean. So I'll just do his shoulders there. And we'll give him his belt. Like so. There we go, just like this. Just cleaning this up. Just clean this up a little, right here. Right, just right here. Just kind of. That's too much. That is just too deep. There we go. Okay, so queso. He's wearing breeches, just like the other guys are. Which sort of bolt into his leggings here. And just kind of fold in right here. Right? There we go. Now we'll do Zombie Bob. We were talking earlier about, how I kind of feel like Zombie Bob didn't quite do all the things he needed to do. In zombie school. There we go, just like this. We're going to give Zombie Bob an emaciation look. Right? we go. So what we're doing here is we're just adding in all of the bones. It's much more important to add all of the bones. Again, if you're just joining me, be aware that this is a pre-recorded show. I'm doing an experiment. I have a meeting today, right now, with Nate of Geekway Homes. This show is sponsored by Geekway Homes. But he and I are going to talk about how we're going to do the future of what we're going to do for 2021. It's going to be very exciting. It's going to be kind of cool. But it does mean that I am not quite available. The only time they had available was 10 a.m. for this meeting. This is exactly the same time as when I'm doing this. So I was going to experiment and see if I could do this, because one of the things that needs to happen is that Geek Tank needs to do this kind of thing. We're going to have to talk about this. For those of you, and I know that Brent is one of those of you, who watch both shows, and those of you who are coming in on our Geek Tank channel, Chelsea now works horribly obnoxious hours. She now works from 2 in the morning to 9 a.m. So she works 2 to 9. She gets off work at 9, and she goes to bed at about 2 in the afternoon-ish, give or take, and then sleeps until whenever. So I guess 9. And then gets up and does her, prep for work and stuff like that and heads for work. But the point of the matter is, at least right now, certainly, her bright-eyed and bushy-tailed time is pretty much now, 10 a.m. So we're going to talk about putting Geek Tank on this same rotation, where we pre-record the show, let's say on a Monday, as an example, at 9 a.m. or 10 a.m. and then put the recording of Geek Tank on, let's say, Thursday night, and then have Troy and I haunt the chat rooms. So you guys can still chat with us, and we'll still interact with you, but you'll have the three of us, and we'll be able to talk about it online. So this is an experiment to see if that'll work. That's what we're after here. So let's see. Let's get back to where we were, the monitor. But yeah, that's you heard it here first, folks. That's what we're thinking of doing. I'm not sure whether we will or won't, but that's what we're thinking of doing. Now, at the moment, Zombie Bob here, he has issues. Like, his pants don't fit issues. Hate to be Zombie Bob, right? Sucks to be Zombie Bob. I'm getting close to this face. And it's hard to see all of my controls because it's dark in here. I went ahead and intentionally left our lights on blue behind me, so that, it looks different. There we go. Poor Zombie Bob here. Alright. Zombie Bob going here. Zombie Bob. Zombie Bob. That kind of thing. So, there we go. We're working now with Zombie Bob. We got Zombie Bob in. He looks pretty good. I'm pretty happy with Zombie Bob. Now I'll move over to Timothy here, who's the handler. He's a lower ranking zombie handler. I mean, he kind of didn't make the apocalypse cut, which is kind of a bummer. It's made him kind of mad, but he'll get over it. But he understands that to some degree he's a low rate zombie handler, and in the end, that's just sort of the way it's got to be. This is his, I'm bored and uninterested at this point in time because I'm not aware that I'm actually going to die. Right? Because, of course, we've got a hero. And the hero is pulling out a widget. I have only a small amount of tea left, which is fundamentally a problem. Oh well, I don't know what to do about that. We'll figure it out. Alright, zombie handler Tim over here. He's got like the belt. There we go. He's holding on to the chain over here. There we go, just like that. And this is where we've got to kind of be careful. We don't want to lose track of what we're doing. And like I had said before, kind of intentionally being sloppy on this. And the reason is because I want it to be somewhat uncomfortable, right? There we go, just like that. Okay. Now we've got Frank and Tim and Zombie Bob, and I think that's Frank. And then just Thug. Thug, of course, being the guy who is actually in law school working on his degree, kind of thing. Right, but we've got, they're starting to kind of look a little concerned, starting to look a little worried, things like that. So let's go on ahead and add in another layer, because what we really don't want is we don't want to disrupt these two layers here. We're going to add another layer right in between here, and this is going to be this guy. Because he's sophisticated. Right. He's got his cool hoodie on. I'm going to come back around like this. There we go, just like this. Right? There we go. We're just going to add some detail to this. There, just like that. I'm going the wrong way there. Now I intentionally went over here, and we're going to have to come back and fix some of this. And that was actually completely by design, because I want these to merge together when we're done with this, and I want it to look right. I'm going to use more of a curve on all of my lines. Here, we are in fact trying to make him look cool. He's a big bad. There we go. We're just going to finish the inking on this, I think, and might be good to call it at that point in time, and then going ahead for a third day tomorrow and wrap this up. There we go. So we're just going through here and we're putting in this guy's shoe, his nice little boot. Right. The guy is kneeling here. So I'm going to give him some deflection, but not a lot. In his boot, the boot's going to deflect a little bit here. Not a whole lot. We don't want to deflect the whole thing, right? And then what's happening is that the front of his robe is folding in. His robe, probably because it's a combat robe, is going to open a split on either side of the legs to allow movement. Otherwise his robe is going to restrict him when he needs to fight. And that's, of course, not the nature of the beast. Right, we're going to do that. We're not going to do that. Here we go. And come back around like this. All right. There we go. Okay. We're now at the almost the 30-minute mark. For those of you just joining me, look up above. You can see that I have a recorded earlier banner on this. Just so you are aware, this was recorded last night after everybody had gone to bed. I have a meeting today, and so I'm going to be doing that meeting, and I don't know when it will end. And so I wanted to try this experiment before. Anyway, right? Always wanted to try this experiment. And see where it went. So that's what we're doing today. We've recorded the show, and it's already pre-recorded and in the can. And so we're letting it roll out right here. And then I'm going to play it for you guys tomorrow, live. And plausibly, I'll be able to join you, but I'm not sure. We'll have to see. Either way, chat with me, put things in the chat, and I may or may not be able to actually read it and respond. I did have a question, Brent. Did you want me to actually fix your character mini? Even though obviously we are not doing minis at the moment because we are not playing Star Trek, but did you want me to fix that mini up for you? That's something I need to make sure that Brent, you're out there mixing it up there. I'll be getting a printer soon. I don't think I need to print it for you. This scythe is 2 meters. It's a big scythe, so I want to cut it a little short. If you do want me to go on ahead and edit that mini, I'm learning a lot about Blender, but it could be completely accidental about how I managed to do this for you. Anyway, just go on ahead and leave your answer in the forum here, and I will see it. Either I will audit this. By the way, I'll audit the show at some point in time, so I'll certainly see any responses you guys make in the chat. There we go. And give this thing a nice solid top. I mean, really, we don't hit you with the scythe. I can just turn it around and bonk you on the head, right? And we'll get this guy in here too. There we go. We need to put in his just a little bit of this waistcoat sort of assembly right here, just enough that he looks like he's trouble. He's a pretty boy. I'm easily entertained. He's doing the squint. What are you up to? Alright, it's the what are you up to? Now with that guy in, we now have everybody on the plate. We can turn these guys off. We're saving. And now we're talking only about the different layers that are in here, right? So I'm going to go on to layer 7. I'm just going to clean up around it here, like where he's crossed over. Whoa! All right, we're just clearing up a little bit of the crossover here. We don't want any of that crossover. Make sure that they're all tied in and locked into place between the two layers. And it's not that important, because what we're really dealing with here I feel like he might need to be brought down just a hair, like this. And this is the time we fix it. You're asking yourself, why? Why would you do that? Because he looks a little too big. Right, now I'll just take these guys and I'll bring down that leg here. It's really not important what's going on below here, and I'll show you why in a moment. This up just a smidge. And it's the only legs we're going to have to worry about are these 3. I'm going to go on ahead and just move them up. Get on the eraser tool for it. I had to say that out loud because apparently I forgot what tool I was looking for. You know how that goes. And we'll go back in and just touch this in. Just like that. Okay, so that's how this is working so far. We are at this point where we've got all of the characters are in the fight, right? We're in the drawing at this point in time. Okay, I'm pretty happy with where we are on this, so we can talk about rudimentary control on this because we're at 39 minutes. I'm only going to do a 1-hour show today, so we're going to just do 1 hour on this, but we can do 1 whole hour. So let's talk a little bit about rudimentary control on this. One of the things I want to do is add a layer in between like this that changes the dynamics of things. So we're going to bring that to there and put a 50% change there. And then we're going to duplicate that layer and put it here with a 50% C change as well. Although this one's probably only going to be 25%. And that gives depth going through here, right? Because we can now see on each one of these layers what's going on. It also makes me realize that this needs to be erased right there, and right there, and right there, because it's easier to see now. And what we're going to ultimately do is this trick. That's what we're going to do here. We're going to take this layer, and we've got like all of these nifty things that come out on here, these gradients and things like that. And all of these are such wonderful textures to have. But the one I'm looking mostly for is we're looking for, maybe it's under effect lines, right? We have these wonderful effect lines. These are speed lines, right? We'll do this one because we're looking for this. We have to download it. Oh no. We'll go download it. It is downloading now. Right? Which could take a minute or two. I don't know why I'm not logged in. I hate to say this, but unlike our dear and beloved, there we go. Now it's going to start downloading. All right. So this speed line, I'll just take that and put it in. You can see what it's done now. It's added a highlight to this. And we move it over. Because that's really what we're looking for, is right there. Okay. And this gives his widget highlight. Now we can see what he's seeing. However, it's made a couple of things. Like, I can't see him at all. So we need to go in. We're going to gently remove stuff out of it, but we can't because it's a rendered line, right? So what we're going to do, we're going to render it, or it's a widget. We're going to rasterize it. Now it actually is a physical thing, and I can just go through here and do this. And all I'm doing is just lightening it up right around where he is. Right? This is where we're going to be doing this. We're going to lighten it up right where he is. The lines are still there, but you can see him. Right, now that we've done that, I feel like, well, first of all, I feel like this guy needs to move back into his place. I don't even know where he is. There. Now we moved him back into his spot. Okay. We don't need to lose all that art, but there you go. And this guy can actually be down just a little bit, right? Because even then, you still have the effect. It's still making you go, oh, 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 well. But the effect is minor. And we'll go to brush. We like some of my brushes here. We've got, love this skin brush, right? This is a big deal. We're going to take, we're just going to go to gray. We're going to be on this. I'm going to bump up a new layer right here. I'm just going to do this. I'm just going to go in here and brush all the way around. That's helping this effect, right? That's what we're really after here. It's just to help this effect. We'll close this to make sure it's still recording, because that really would be bad if it wasn't recording. We're just going to touch in and keep going blacker and blacker towards the end of things to kind of give a feeling of things getting darker as they go outward in the picture. And there we go. We've gotten kind of to this point now where we can kind of see what's going on, right? And it's making for a very dramatic picture. Now we're going to have to go in and work on some of this, I feel like, a lot, because I really kind of feel like we can bring this up. There we go. And now we're talking, right? All the line work's in, we're getting some color. The color is making it look very dramatic. And by color, I mean black and white, obviously. And what we'll do when we start this up on Thursday is we're going to really look at where we are on this and the colors that his jacket needs to be. I know his jacket needs to be black, like he's wearing his vest here, right? And stuff like that. But I also want to double check with the manuscript and make sure that I am doing the correct thing, because that's, once I set this all in, it's going to be where it is, and I want to double check that the eye is an amulet. And I want to double check to see if she's described what the amulet looks like, because if so, I'm going to have to design that up, and we're going to have to fix that. So and I noticed that one of my sketches for this page has him wearing a glove. I want to double check that it's not a glove. So that's kind of important. So we're gonna go on ahead and start to wrap this up a little today. We're only doing 1 hour. This was supposed to be paint day, and I'm sorry. We'll do paint day next week. I've got painting over there. We've got the ability to do painting. We should be able to do that. I think that'd be an awesome thing. It's kind of sad we're not. So we're going to go on ahead and wrap this up for today. We've done some good work here. We've got 1 more day's worth of work on it to just clean it up, do some touch-ups. We've got to do some varying degrees of color in the background there so you can see these bad guys. So we're going to do that. But then we'll be clear on this illustration, and then next week we'll be doing the other 2, and that's the last 2 for this book, and then we'll be out. So that should be good enough. I hope this continued running. It's fascinating to me to do this kind of concept, so here's to hoping it stayed running. I don't know if it did, but I also noticed that when I do this way, we have sort of a shorter show by nature. I enjoy your company and talking to you guys, and it's kind of a bummer not to. So I'm sorry about that. We'll get back to it. I wouldn't worry too much. This is just something that we need to learn to do, because I think our Monday shows are going to be this way. So this is the way we'll do Monday shows. It'll be kind of fun. In the meantime, we'll go ahead and get going. Do me a favor, and if you want to tell me anything or anything like that, go on ahead and put it into the comments on this video, because we are definitely going to see this video. I'm going to look through the comments section, so you'll be fine there. Other than that, George is already in bed, the kid's already in bed, and everybody's already in bed, and I am headed for bed next. So Until tomorrow, I'll say good night and good day. And remember, please keep your eyes on the stars. Bye. Computer, good night.